In 2011, the agricultural aviation industry launched a program called AirCare to deliver best practice to its customers. The program is aimed at making the industry more sustainable. John Sinclair from the New Zealand Agricultural Aviation Association explains.
AirCare is an accreditation program for all of an aviation business. What it's about is getting best practice into the industry and in terms of both flight safety and environmental safety. What we're trying to do is to make our industry sustainable, and if we can make ag aviation sustainable, then we're making hill country farming in New Zealand sustainable. We're a little industry, we punch pretty much above our weight. Export income for New Zealand would drop something like $2 billion a year if our industry was regulated out of business. We don't want any adverse effects from spray drift, and we don't want fertiliser and waterways. They're probably two of the things. The other area that we are involved in, of course, is the spreading of poison baits, and the same things apply. We've got to keep those out of waterways, keep them out of home water supplies. So it's a safety assurance program that delivers best practice in respect of those three things. We've had GPS, which provides proof of placement, probably since 1994, thereabouts it started in this industry. There are still operators out there without it, but AirCare requires operators to have that sort of evidence. It's evidence of where the products are released. And if we can do that, if we can provide the evidence of where the products were released and what the weather conditions were at the time, then most of our regional regulators are happy with what we're doing. If you're talking about the environmental side of AirCare, pilots have to go out and comply with, if they're spraying, they have to comply with the GrowSafe code. If they're top dressing, they've got to comply with the spread mark code. If they're baiting, with the baiting code. That's at a pilot level, and some of those things require competency. Like in GrowSafe, there is actually a certification requirement. But what AirCare does, and this is crucial, AirCare requires the operator, that's the company they work for, to be able to demonstrate that those pilots are operating in accordance with those codes of practice every time they go to work.
I've been working for Super Air for 10.5 years, been flying for them for just under 9.5 years. There has been deaths, but the industry as a whole is getting safer. AirCare, it'll mean that we can continue going to work. It's there to prove that we are professionals. We can do what we say we can do. It proves what we're doing is safe and environmentally friendly, or to the best practice, basically. We've got rules that we have to comply with. We're not allowed to put it in waterways. We have had prosecutions in the past. If you've got drift the wrong way, you do go back another day. The wires are a big one. The unexplained wires, the ones that you actually do ask and they say there's no wires there, and you start the block and you pick up wires that they might have thought aren't a concern, but we might duck down between two hilltops and they've strung a wire there. I've had 3 major frights where I haven't hit them, but I haven't been told, and I know for a fact that I've asked the client, are there wires here? And they either forgotten about them or they assume that it's not going to be an issue. The fertiliser bin needs to be in a secure condition so that it won't actually let product out through gaps in the walls, floor, or moisture in, especially through the walls. Yeah, well, this one's been in here right through all that bad weather, so we've had over a week of bad weather, rain and wind.
Look at it,
and
beautiful.
It's good.
Yeah. It's really good. I mean, that's saving the farmer money by having a bin that big, isn't it?
Well, that's what it comes down to. It lets us keep going when the weather is good, get product in bad weather, and when the weather's fine, hopefully in the next couple of days we'll get in and go. Damp, wet product, it doesn't go through the hopper doors in a safe manner. It can actually bridge across the doors and it won't let it out at all. And there's been fatalities caused. And that's brought in a whole recommended guidelines booklet for airstrips and facilities. The other thing is it's costing clients money and us. If it takes more than the required amount of flying time to get rid of that product out of the hopper, there's more flying time, thus more charge out to the client. And you don't get actually the even spread that we're after.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.